This week on One Crazy Story, comedian Adam Degi joins us to talk about an awkward breakup, comedy, and more.
So I bring her this box of oatmeal, like, here, this is your fucking oatmeal. I don't want this goddamn oatmeal.
Keep your fucking oatmeal.
And she ends up telling her friend that she thought it was creepy I brought her the oatmeal back. I'm like, no, how is that?
That's closure.
I can't think of a less creepy food than oatmeal. Like, if there were steaks I had in the freezer.
Yeah.
Like, here, these are your steaks.
This is your...
But, like, the shelf life of oatmeal is pretty much unlimited.
Hello and welcome to another edition of One Crazy Story. I'm your host, Nate Armbruster, and this week I'm talking with comedian Adam Degi. Adam's a very funny guy from Grand Rapids, Michigan, who was in town performing at Mark Ridley's Comedy Castle last weekend and was kind enough to do the podcast. He let me invade his hotel room and bother him for a little bit. He was kind enough to talk to me about an awkward breakup back in the day in a past relationship. Adam's now married. Life's great. Everything's good. But you know what? We all have that one experience that's just kind of rough and just weird. But yeah, so we talk about that and a little bit about comedy and the first time he headlined. So it was a fun conversation. Hope you get a kick out of it. In the meantime, get in touch with Adam. You can find him on all the social media, Adam Degi, D-E-G-I, adam-degi.com for all of his tour dates. Go see him live. He's super funny. And if you want to get in touch with me, email me at onecrazystory@gmail.com, or you can find me on all the social media at Nate Comedy or at One Crazy Story. I'd love to hear from you. Now, without further ado, enjoy this week's episode with myself and comedian Adam Degi.
When I was in, I was like 2 or 3 years in, and I was doing shows at a fucking bar for this piece of shit in Grand Rapids, Michigan, who owned this entertainment agency.
So candid.
And he'd give me like $20.
Yeah.
Like, and I was naive and stupid, and
right.
I would do like
we've all done that
a half
shit,
hour.
Though.
I probably had 20 minutes at the time.
Right.
But it was just about getting on stage.
But you're new, man. You
people,
need the time.
This is when people still came out to see me. That's what sucks about comedy is
nobody gives a shit anymore. When
people care, it's wasted because that's when you suck, and then by the time you're good, people have seen you a dozen times.
It's just
and they
gotten
don't come
old
out anymore.
It's not even that like they're like, no, we like you. It's just fucking we get it. That's what
so
you do.
I did this bar show for this guy 3 or 4 times, and I would do like a half hour, and he'd give me $20, and so I'm gonna do it again, and he comes up to me before the show, and he's like, "Hey, I'm gonna give you more money tonight. I need you to do more time." And he gives me like $100, and I'm like, "Oh, this is fucking crazy." And
the first time you got $100 to do stand up.
I need you to close the show, do more time. I'll give you more money. The headliner, her parents went to wake her up this morning, and she was dead. Like,
what?
Is this how it happens?
Right? Like, that's the thing.
Does somebody have to die?
That's what has to happen for you to be like, well, it looks like I'm going to try and do this, you know?
Yeah, man. I'm sure that I sucked for half of that set, but...
Probably.
And then I think I had a headline again for that guy because the headliner was in the hospital. Both of these people were
bad luck, man.
Overweight.
Yeah. Well, it's like it's not a huge surprise.
Like, man, I'm just gonna keep signing up to.
Well, I'll keep
middle for fat people.
Yeah, I only middle for fat people.
If their health really goes downhill,
hey man, we want to get.
I'm in there.
Here, you want these fries? You're like starting to feed them. You're starting to feed them shit. Just take some of these fries.
Curds.
Yeah, here, I got some.
Yeah, that was just a really weird way to.
That'll thrust
that for your first time is because the headliner died.
Yeah. I've had similar experiences in that, like, but nothing traumatic like a death. Hey,
just put it on me.
Hey, so and so's in a car accident.
Show, yeah.
I've had the car accident where it's like, oh, you're just gonna have to do it. And I go, okay, all right, we'll see if this is good at all.
You stretch.
Yeah, you get through it, and then we'll see how. He double booked, so he's not gonna be here.
Yeah,
I'm like, really? All right, looks like it's just me.
I think if you don't have the time, it's almost better that you are just put in that position last minute.
Forces you to do this shit,
rather
man.
than if they told you the day before and you just had to fucking think about it, like, do I have the time? How am I going to do this? Just go up there and talk.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty much what you end up doing. You're like, I'll just get through it, whatever.
Yeah.
And then eventually you get to a point where it's like, all right, I can confidently do this.
Yeah, I'd be interested to, see how many comics really started doing a half hour or an hour after they had the time.
Yeah.
I feel like most comics will accept the opportunity to do it knowing full and well they don't have the time yet. And it's just like, learn on the fly.
Yeah. Or some people just get lucky.
Yeah, I'm like that fan.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sometimes you win a national televised comedy competition and then you don't have 45
What's
minutes.
he doing now, though?
I would assume he still probably does clubs. I mean, I'm sure he has the time now.
Yeah. Also, too, I wanted to get to the other two you had in mind.
I was dating a girl for a few years, and then I don't even remember why it ended, but I had a bunch of shit of hers that I had to bring her at her place of employment. She worked at like a tanning salon or some
right.
bullshit.
Did you guys like live together or anything?
We did. We lived together for maybe a year and a half.
It's like a real breakup.
Okay relationship. Like we did anal. Like it was pretty
you were
it was pretty serious.
Yeah, you guys you were serious.
And,
living together doing anal. That but that makes a breakup a little more like fuck, we gotta we can't just not see each other again.
Before I was dating this girl, I fooled around. Well, and when I say fool around, I mean I had intercourse with a friend of hers. So then there was always this weird thing there,
like
where
a jealousy thing.
Yeah, she knew that we had had intercourse, and so it was always weird.
Anytime you guys saw each other,
they were friends, but she'd always,
weird.
you still want to fuck her, and
you're like, oh shit.
I mean, it's always going to be weird because there was guys I'm sure that she was still friends with, she slept with, that I knew about it, so there would always be a thing
and
there.
you just got to let that go, And, it's
and I was over it, but it was still weird, especially like this was
weird.
In my mid-20s. I was I don't know.
Well, it is weird, but it's like, well, but also, who gives a shit?
Yeah, who gives a shit?
But it's always going to be kind of awkward.
The reason I bring it up is because after the breakup, I go, and I'm still like in a mode where I'm like, I still kind of want to date this girl. Mm-hmm. There's interest. Like years later, I realized the only thing we had in common was like smoking weed and fucking.
Right. Yeah, I mean, like it wasn't really
like 3 or 4 years younger than I was. But I bring her stuff. And
to the tanning salon.
To this tanning salon.
Adam Degi showing up.
And at first she's
salon.
like listening to the things I have to say, and she's like, doesn't hate me. But then I tell her, I don't know why the fuck I told her this, but I told her that I had like fooled around with that same friend again.
No.
Why I brought this up, I don't even know how it would come up in the conversation.
Did you really though?
I did. I absolutely did.
So after you broke up, you went back to that girl?
It did happen again.
And it did happen.
That's what you do, yeah.
But it came up in
I don't know
your
why.
routine.
I think she may have.
Here's your DVDs.
I think that she heard from
also
another source
friend.
that, hey, I saw so and so's car at.
Then I guess that's plausible.
Dude's place, and you were there, and
people.
So
talk.
then I think I was just like, yeah, it happened, and so she puts her headphones in, and just like sits there listening to music, so she wouldn't have to listen to me. And finally, she just says, like, if you don't leave, I'm going to call the cops.
What?
And I'm like, well, I don't want to be that guy.
Right.
So I left. But what really pissed me off, and this has nothing to do with the rest of the story, but she told me, I remember hearing that she said that she thought it was creepy that we were really high one day and went to fucking Costco, and she wanted this box of oatmeal, like 84 packs of oatmeal. 4 different flavors. This box of oatmeal never got open. She was just high, never ate it, never got open. So I bring her this box of oatmeal, like, here, this is your fucking oatmeal. I don't want this goddamn oatmeal.
Keep your fucking oatmeal.
And she ends up telling her friend that she thought it was creepier. I brought her the oatmeal back. And I'm like, no, how is that?
That's closure.
I can't think of a less creepy food than oatmeal. Like if there were steaks I had in the freezer.
Yeah.
Like, here, these are your steaks.
This is your.
But like the shelf life of oatmeal is pretty much unlimited. You hadn't opened it. You asked for it when you were high. Like, take your fucking oatmeal.
That was like it was like also like that was you saying fuck you, I'm done with you.
So there's like a lot of things. If she calls me an asshole, a piece of shit, I'm okay with that, but like I don't want to be labeled as creepy guy because I brought you back your fucking oatmeal.
Well, now and now it's like she goes and says that to people. It's I'm the oatmeal guy.
So
Quaker oat.
Anyway,
Degi oat.
Same day I am in contact with this girl that I went to high school with, who was much more attractive than anybody who should ever let me enter their body. And I used to sneak over to this girl's house in high school, and she was like, her family was pretty wealthy, but they were never really around. And I think one particular night they were like just passed out, and I had to like sneak in through a window, and the girl had a cast at the time, like one of her legs was broke.
Oh shit!
And but that's not gonna like, I'm not gonna not try to have
absolutely
sex with her 'cause she has a cast.
With a cast, you're still unbelievably attractive.
Yeah, so we are to the point where I'm like erect with a condom on, and we're gonna have intercourse, and I'm like going to insert my penis, and she says, you know, what's gonna happen after this? Like basically, she says like, are we gonna be a thing? And I should have just
in high school.
I should have just said yes. I had no reason not to be in a relationship with this girl. Like
Right, and this was high school.
Yes.
Is this when you lost your virginity?
No.
No. Okay.
God, no. I was much cooler than that.
Oh, okay. Because I was gonna say, what a way to start.
I had already lost my virginity, but like
cast.
this would have definitely been the best looking girl I had.
But she's got a cast, like your first time doing it.
That's what happened too. She fell out of the window. That's how she broke her leg.
Really? Wait.
I think the same window I crawled through.
That's so funny.
Anyway, I should have just been like. Even if I were just lying to her, I should have just said, yeah, we can be a thing.
Yeah, why not?
But instead I backtracked. So long story short, we never had sex. And like, I always was like, why didn't you just lie to her?
Do it. Just lie to her.
Or just tell her, yeah, let's get married.
What are you in high school? Yeah.
So it never happened. So the day I break up with my girlfriend, I'm in contact with this girl. We're going to hang out.
All right, oatmeal gone.
I drive all the way to Muskegon. It's like 45 minutes. Not that long of a drive, but I mean, like on a whim to just go hang out with this girl. And most of it was just like, fuck my ex. Like,
come on, yeah, you're going.
Want to hang out with another chick.
Every guy's going to Muskegon.
And
after that,
I get there, and this girl is surrounded by dudes. Much and a lot.
Have you kept in touch with her? Like, is this like a random
this girl
thing?
Has like, I rarely talk to this girl.
Yeah,
I think out of the blue, I just. Maybe hit her up on Facebook or something, and
like rebound shit.
We texted back and forth. Yeah, it was total rebound.
And so she's just like, come hang out in Muskegon.
So I meet her I was gonna go meet her at a bar, but she's like surrounded by dudes. It's like Affliction and like
really
loud embroidery jeans type dudes.
Oh yeah,
and
those are.
I should have just walked up and been like, hey, I'm here.
Yeah, right.
But instead, I get like really insecure, and there's all these, and I'm like, everybody at the bar wants to bring this girl home.
Yeah, and she's still gorgeous.
Yeah, of course she is, man.
Yeah.
And I've just like defeated. I don't even talk to this girl. I never even say like, hey, I can't make it, or I never say anything.
You just don't
leave.
So as far as she knows, you never showed up.
Yep. I just leave, drive all the way home. I get home.
That's such the way. So you just walk into this bar and you see her, and you just turn around and leave.
Like that. My day was just like, your ex doesn't want to be with you. She threatened to call the police on you. She thinks you're a creep because you brought her back the fucking box of oatmeal she wanted when she was high at Costco. And now this girl is like surrounded by several dudes who are better looking than you. Like, you're just a fucking pathetic piece of shit.
But in that environment, though, you stand out in your khakis and button up.
God knows what I was wearing.
Is it?
I can't
probably.
Remember.
But I
this
just
was
guess.
Well past like my stage where I wanted to be black and dress like I was going to be a professional rapper. But who knows, dude? I definitely wasn't that broy. These guys were like, yeah, probably huge UFC fans.
You stand out in the best way though. When you're in a group, you hope so. I don't know. Maybe it's good that you left.
It probably is,
I think it's good that you left.
That girl almost immediately after got pregnant.
Oh yeah,
and that would have been bad. But
yeah, but so she never even hit you up and said, "Where'd you go?"
No, she didn't need to. She had options.
No, yeah, she's doing fine.
And I'm sure she knew like this guy just wants to sleep with me because we came very close to it before, and he just wants to probably. For closure, have sex with me, and then you can get out of the rest of his life. But so I drive back home, and I get to the house, and my roommate and I have rooms next to each other, like it's just a wall separating our beds, basically. And my roommate is much older than me. I think he's got to be 40 at the time, or late 30s.
Right.
He's 15 years older than me. And I get halfway up the steps, and I just hear him just having loud loud intercourse. And I'm like, Jesus,
the worst night, man.
There's no way I'm gonna fall asleep.
Right, with this going on.
And
you're already just thrown off from everything that's happened, and
dude,
it's like
I'm
just a shitty night.
Nobody likes me. My 40-year-old roommate's getting laid, and this girl is like half his age. Like she's the age of my ex.
This was a.
And I'm like, it's not like he looks like Lachlan Patterson. This. I was just.
It's just to come home to that. You're
there
like,
was so
shit.
much.
Yeah.
That I was just like, should I just fucking walk in front of a bus?
No.
So
you just go.
End up just going to my mother's house because she didn't live far from there.
Right,
and
Mom.
The
you don't
ultimate
understand.
end of like a pathetic night. I pass out on my mom's couch, and
that's the best way to do it.
I don't know, dude.
Go eat some oatmeal at Mom's.
It was rough.
Yeah, it's the worst night, man.
Now I'm married to a girl who's much more attractive than me, and when I look at pictures of the ex who thought I was creepy because I brought her the oatmeal, I made the right decision.
Oh, absolutely.
I made the right decision.
Yeah, no, life's good, man. It has a way of working itself out, you know? Usually end up
absolutely.
in most cases, you end up in a better position than you probably would have been had you done
at least
anything
that's
else.
What you tell yourself.
It's pretty fucking good, though. You know what I mean?
But
how much better could it be?
Oh, it could. In my case, it was good.
Well, that's what I mean. It's like, it's like, no, this is good. But
there's definitely some cases where it's different though, because when you break up with somebody, I feel like girls will be like, no, you can do better. Fuck him. But sometimes you can't.
No.
Sometimes you fucked up. You can't do better. And I feel like dudes are more prone to being like, you fucked that up, dude. What were you thinking?
Yeah, sometimes you
you are not gonna do better.
Nope. This is it. Isn't that why you get married?
I mean, that's and every time we
isn't
say
that the point kind of getting married?
Looks. Yeah. I mean, it's. Sometimes you lie to yourself.
To each his own.
In this case, for sure. Yeah. She smoked. I smoked at the time, but then I later quit. I think she still smoked. And
no, that would have just been a disaster, man.
Just not. She really doesn't look great.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I mean, I don't either. I'm gross. But I'm supposed to be.
I don't know. I don't know if
that's such a stupid thing to say.
I don't know.
I should do some sit-ups. But my roommate was Stu McAllister. I'll just say his name. He's a comic, and he's much older than me. And he is in this next story. One of the first good-paying gigs I ever did was for a pastor's appreciation banquet.
Jeez, what kind of pastor? Like pastor, like Catholic?
There was I think Christian.
Yeah. So definitely like white collar, the collar.
No, not like that.
Oh, okay.
They weren't like priests.
So this could just be anybody.
Yep.
That is a pastor, basically.
Yep. Yes.
Okay.
But it was like, I don't know what denomination it was.
Yeah.
But I don't know I think he's since moved to Indiana, but at the time he lived in the Grand Rapids area and did comedy, and that's what he called himself, Pastor Chad. That's what he went by on stage. And as much as he was a pastor and very religious, he was obviously open to other humor, and was cool enough to
kind of like, hey, maybe
befriend comics and want to get on stage. And I think he understood most of us weren't very religious,
right?
And he was in charge of getting the entertainment for these pastor appreciation banquets every year. Usually they would have I'm sure a magician or something corny.
Yeah.
But because he did comedy,
we're gonna mix it up this year.
I think they were like, "Hey, get some comics."
Yeah, this
not knowing hey, most comics aren't gonna have subject matter.
Yeah, or should go to confession
fit for a pastor's appreciation banquet. And I think he told us beforehand, listen, this is what it is. Maybe you've only got to do 5 or 10 minutes. Just cater your act to these people. It's in a gymnasium with 300 people. And every table is a priest and a pastor and their family.
Yeah,
and
kids too.
There's also some teenagers though that would probably be into a lot of the stuff we talk about. Because at the time I didn't have more than 2 minutes of clean material, and I had to do 5 or 10. Dude. I go up. The worst thing I said, I think, was I brought up condoms, but I actually did okay. And
I think they can tell your intent behind the context.
I did all right, as good as I could have expected. I think, especially at the time, I wasn't very experienced. And then Stu gets up after me, and Within like 3 minutes, they cut his microphone
because
his act is not.
It was just too dirty or whatever. That's great. That's so funny. Did he even try?
I know he immediately I think was just like, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, this isn't gonna go well, so I might as well do my shit.
To his credit, he just said, I'm gonna do my thing.
Yep. See what happens. That's crazy.
So they cut his microphone.
They don't try, like they just go right to cutting it.
There's like it's silence. Like jaws dropped. There's like a group of teenagers in the corner.
This is amazing.
Losing their shit because they think it's hilarious.
This is amazing. And then you start playing to the kids.
They cut his microphone off, so then he just continues to do his act without the microphone. And
that's amazing.
His last joke was like,
you close with the dirtiest at that point, don't you?
I like my women like I like my Little Caesars pizza or something, hot and ready for $5.
Which isn't even that bad.
No, but I mean, we're talking about
a pastor's banquet.
Pastors, dude.
That's like, because it's like just the neat. That's just.
And we carpooled with the dude who had us out there who was a pastor. So then I had to ride back with him.
Oh no! And you're like the good kid.
At least 10 minutes goes by before anybody breaks the silence, and very awkward. But they still paid us.
That's
and
amazing.
It was like they gave us like $300 for like 5 minutes.
That's amazing,
man.
That is so
I
great.
Become a Christian comic. That could
straight up, man. Just got to keep it kind of
make some bank. There is a ton of money in like Christian corporate comedy, but not a lot of people who can do it.
No, it's very hard to do. Last night I did. You know where I was at last night? A fucking high school all night party thing.
Oh wow! I remember that. Like
I've done two. Yeah, I've done two in the last week. Don't.
That's crazy. What do you talk about?
They go, hey, keep it clean. And I go, all right, that's all they tell you. And they go, no, they'll be like, no swearing. And my subject matter's pretty friend. I guess it's not like, I'm not squeaky clean, but like, I'm not like that dirty either. I could easily do it. Right.
I did one,
they go,
one overnight thing at Coral Gables where they already have shows. And I just remember a lot of my content just went over their heads because I didn't realize
that's what I was worried about.
Gap there was.
That's what I was worried about. And like the last week one, the students that were like the class that was in the audience, they didn't know that there was going to be comedy. So I'm like, this is going to be a disaster. They were getting bussed into the venue, right? So it was like, they don't even know where they're going. It's like a surprise, right? And this is, yeah, could you imagine your high school fucking like it's your last night together as a class and I'm the fucking entertainment. How stupid.
Who's this guy?
How stupid is that? And so it actually went pretty good, but you just and when they start talking, it's like you just start talking to them.
Yeah.
Like, where you going to college? And then everybody's like, that's Adam. He's going to work. And then you just get through it. And then you get paid, and the parents go, that was great.
Hell
you didn't offend anybody.
How much time did you do?
30. Yeah.
Nice.
And like last night I did 30. And that one was even weirder because we're in like a cafeteria. And then it's just, it's late and it's stupid.
Yeah. I've done a few college things in the last 5 years that were
But they were good awkward. Though. And they were into it. Like I did this joke. And halfway through the joke, I'm like, what am I doing? They're not gonna get this. This is I make a reference to my dad having a rotary phone, right? It is what it is. The joke that is, and I realize that I'm standing in front of a bunch of 17-year-old people that probably have never
no idea what a rotary phone is,
and they laughed. Yeah, and I go, wow, I didn't. Wow, you guys got it. And this girl just goes, we're not 11. And I go, well, you're right.
Yeah.
Like she's
even
like,
with the internet, I'm sure you've probably seen like a rotary meme or something. You guys
watch Mad Men?
Yeah.
Or something. I don't know. Like, you've seen everything.
I don't know. There's been a ton of articles lately too about how like, all these comics say that like college crowds can't take a joke, which
I don't know, man. That might be extreme. That might be the extreme. But not. There's smart.
I'm sure there's comics that will say some stupid shit, like something borderline homophobic or racist, and like, no, of course you shouldn't be able to get away with that being that stupid. And it just also sounds hack in front of any audience, let alone a college audience.
Well, I mean, what do you do? There's some shit though. I would really like to see, like when Seinfeld said that shit. Like,
that's crazy.
But
what could he possibly say that is offending people?
Well, that, and also Seinfeld just doesn't want to fucking do colleges.
No,
he doesn't have to. Yeah,
the dude is doing sold
colleges
out
to us are like a good payday.
Oh hell yeah!
Like that's
to him though. It's like
we'd kill for that. They're like, that's a waste of. He's like, that's a waste of my time. I could go to any theater in the country and do 2 hours.
Yeah, and
then draw my audience. You know, that's the thing. Is like Chris Rock isn't doing colleges because he's Chris Rock and he doesn't have to. Like, you know what I mean? Like, dude, he's playing arenas. Like, come on. Like, no, you think it's because they're too PC?
No audience that's there for comedy will ever feel shitty to me after traveling the country and hosting a game show. I used to host a game show in like the fucking cafeteria of a community college.
Is this that thing that John Heffron did back in the day? Do you know what I'm talking about?
He might have done something similar, but not for the same agency.
I can't remember what it was called.
I don't think it was as bad.
Yeah.
It's good money.
Yeah. That was the thing. It was like a big...
Especially for you in the beginning. And I did it because I could also do comedy. Mm-hmm. But I probably ended up doing like 8 comedy shows and like 150 game shows. Mm-hmm. And it was just... Oh God, so
brutal.
Bad.
Well, you don't have to anymore, Adam.
I do not.
You do not. You're Adam Degi, headlining comedian. Thank you for doing the podcast. You got a website? Anything you want to plug? What's going on? You got an album coming out, don't you? Or is that?
I've got an album. Well, here's the thing: is my album I released it by myself. And then I actually just signed to On Tour Records.
Nice.
Same label as Dave Landau and
plenty of Stuart Huff. Yeah, plenty of
bunch of
great
guys
comedians.
I don't deserve to be in the same breath as. But they're gonna put it on. They're gonna re-release it on like their site and iTunes and all the outlets. But then I'll also be able to be on
XM and all that.
XM.
Hell yeah, man.
Satellite radio soon. So
it'll be on iTunes and all that.
Yeah,
where people can. Twitter,
buddy.
You do the Twitter and the Facebook.
iTunes. I think
plug
maybe
your shit.
Spotify. I don't know, man. It's called His Name Is My Name too.
Hell yeah.
I thought the album was pretty good, so check it out.
Sweet. All right. Well, there you go. I hope this wasn't a complete waste of your time.
No, dude, I had fun.
Thank you.
I wish my stories were funnier, man. This goes back to me saying I wish I would have hit rock bottom.
Oh yeah, don't we all?
Like legitimately, like I would have cooler stories.
Yeah,
you know,
but dude,
like I just don't have as many friends that like did coke and heroin and shit.
How many people do you know that have hit rock bottom though, and it got worse?
That's what I'm saying. Like Landau is the exception.
Yeah, no, he's like a good. He's the best example.
He
of that.
has like near-death experiences, but then now is a phenomenal comic and very successful.
Right. But it takes so much to get to that.
A lot of those people also aren't
some
comics
people,
or weren't comics, and now they're just like a plumber, which actually is. I'm not shitting on plumbers. That's a
no. I need
pretty good profession.
You need plumbers.
Plumbers make more money than I do. So.
Yeah, but hey man, it's probably just for the better that you.
I'm just saying it. Like if mediocrity in your 30s is accepted, if you were a heroin addict in your 20s, you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. It's so true. Oh, thank you, Adam.
Thank you.